Welcome to the end of unit self-assessment for year 2. There's one of these for each unit. I'm showing on my screen here unit 1 self-assessment, but they're all very similar to one another, and so this process is going to be the same at the end of each unit. You'll see here that the unit learning goal is for students to reflect on the meaning of the 3 E's of good work in different applicable contexts. The lesson goal specifically is for students to self-assess their own learning over the course of the previous unit. For you as an educator, for the assessment, you can also review their self-completed assessment, their reflection writings, to see demonstrations of their learning. And for the portfolio documentation, students should be holding on to this unit self-assessment in their good work portfolio. Students will need their portfolio to complete this assessment. They're going to need to be able to look back on the writings and the activities that they've done over the previous lessons in this unit. So to begin this lesson, as a review, you should go through and explain to them that they're going to be reflecting on what they've learned so far. It would be great if you could model that reflection for them, even as an educator, explaining maybe how your thinking has changed while teaching these lessons, thoughts that maybe you previously had about some of the concepts that were covered in the unit that you're working on. Maybe you thought about them differently. If you've been teaching this for a while, you might want to go and talk about how you thought about these things before you started teaching the Good Work Project. Students will fill out the self-assessment handout here, and they also can take a look at the rubric to see where they should be meeting certain benchmarks so that they can look at their own work, look at the benchmarks, and make a fair assessment about how they've progressed over the unit. Students should take about 25 minutes, maybe even 30 if you happen to have the time, to fill out their unit self-assessment. This could be an opportunity for them to do something other than writing as well. This is where, this is open to interpretation. You know your students in your class better than anyone. Some students do really well with writing out their thoughts. Others find it more challenging, and they could benefit, or they need something just different throughout the day, and they could use, maybe they want to write a podcast about it. They maybe want to record a video, even create an artifact. There are many different ways that students could respond to these questions and share their self-assessment of their learning. And we leave that completely up to you as educators to decide what's best for your class. We're sharing one way of doing it, but you're a great teacher, and I'm sure you have other ways of going about it. And at the end, if you could save like 5 or 10 minutes, it's helpful to have students come back together and share their impressions of their reflection. You can ask them, what surprised you when you looked at your work from the beginning of this unit? How confident do you feel in your ability to describe these concepts in your own words, whether that be in writing or in spoken form? And students should be sure to keep these self-assessments in whatever form they happen to record them for their good work portfolio. This is going to be the same process after the end of each unit.